Hey, YouTube Nation, I am so excited to be back with you guys again. I keep getting more and more requests for videos. And so today I'm actually going to recap. I was just at the Build conference for my firm, and they asked me to speak in front of 7,000 people. Now, for those of you who have been following along that know me, you know that I am deathly afraid of speaking on stage. And so I got such a great reaction from the presentation that I put together. And it was mainly my story. It was, what has my real estate journey looked like? And some of you might be surprised that I struggled in the beginning with scripts and dialogue and just my business in general. And I've had ups and downs. So today I'm going to replay the presentation that I did in front of 7,000 people at Build, recapping my real estate journey. And hopefully it inspires somebody out there to know that you can absolutely do this. This business was built for gritty entrepreneurs that just have a get it done attitude. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And I truly believe that. And I know I have some really, really awesome followers here. And if you're a first time viewer of this page, please follow us, click the button below, follow us. And then I've got links in every single one of the videos that will show you guys the tools that I use from Espresso Agent, which is the dialer that I use, the coaching that I use. You can even schedule 30 minutes with me if you want to just have a coaching call. I am in a position where I can give back to my real estate community. I do not sell real estate anymore on a day-to-day basis. I am out of production, and so I'm here to give back. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to start with our presentation here that I did for our awesome 7,000 agent brokerage. So here we go, guys. We are going to get started. So this is a story about myself. Took some opportunities, said yes to opportunities. Back in high school, the letter F was, it had very different meanings than it did for me today. That little red F was just such a blow to my ego many times, because it landed on more papers, presentations, and tests than I care to share or remember. So I actually struggled back in the day in high school. And our educational system puts kids in a box. It literally teaches them all the same way, same testing, and then puts a label on their back and said, you're average, you above average, and you, sorry, little one, you're below average. Now shove off and go do life. And that was me. I was basically that kid that felt like a fish, being taught how to climb a tree, and then being judged by the ability to climb a tree, and then living my whole academic career feeling like I was stupid. I mean, that was really how I felt in high school. And so when the opportunity for college came along and I had to make a decision, I just said, F it, I'm not going. I'm not going to go to college, spend the next 4 years of my life having people tell me that I'm average or below average. So I didn't go. But the best thing that came out of high school for me was my husband, Kevin. You can see here in the picture that we were 16 there. And yes, I was wearing a sexy t-shirt. Don't ask me why, and don't ask me how I got away with leaving the house in that shirt. But that was Kevin and I at 16. Kevin went immediately into sales. He went into car sales, actually, and he was making a really good income at the time. And he decided to buy his first house. So I was doing all of the information seeking for him buying our first house. And we met an agent named Jill, and she was amazing. And so by the end of the experience, Jill and I connected, and she said, you should think about maybe selling real estate. And I really didn't have any direction in life, to be honest. I didn't think I'd be a great salesperson, but I knew I loved helping people. And so they both kind of convinced me to go ahead and sit for my real estate exam. Now, I was scared, y'all. I was scared to take that exam because I wasn't a great test taker. And I'm sure a lot of us on this call can, attest to that they are not good test takers. So I sat for the exam 21 years ago. It must have been really easy back then because I passed the first time and my real estate career was on its way. And so I was the average of the 5 or 6 people that I was around. I had a great first year. I knocked on doors. I talked to my family and friends. I actually sold houses and I got up to about selling 25, 30 homes a year consistently for the first 5 years. And now my family was not very rich. We were actually pretty poor. I remember my mom shopping with coupons at the store. And I used to say to myself when I was little, I'll never do that. I will never shop with coupons. But, that was our life. And so I was making about $150,000 a year. And that was a really, really strong income coupled with my husband, who was making another 150,000. We were doing really well in our early 20s, but life is life and life took a twist. And back in 2008, everybody knows what happened, right? WTF, the market completely crashes. And our crash started in about 2006. So it was a 2-year rundown. My income went from 150,000 to 40,000. It was awful. And I was actually thinking about leaving the business, even though I loved the business so, so much. I prayed about it and I thought, how could I make a difference? How can I get my income back? Because I really do love my job. Now, a magical fairy came into my life, and you might be thinking, was it Tinkerbell? No, it wasn't Tinkerbell. The magical fairy was Mike Ferry. This was my coach back in the day, and he was awesome. Mike taught me how to have a schedule, how to come in every day at the same time, how to treat my business like a business, not just let the day happen to me. It was me taking control of the day. It was learning sales skills, scripts, dialogue, presentation skills, so I can feel really confident when I get in front of a seller. And sellers at that time needed help, right? The market was crashing. People were losing their houses left and right. I had to go in there into the battlefield and tell these people that the home that they paid $400,000 for was worth $200,000. Trust me, lots of tears at that time and anguish from our sellers. So I had to be really mentally, physically prepared to do that business. But the best thing Mike taught me, because he grew up in a trailer park, had alcoholic parents, but he's now worth $100 million. The best thing he taught me is that anyone can do it if they fix what's going on up here, right? If we have a strong, powerful mindset, not focusing on what we don't have, focusing on what we have, because most people focus on what they don't have, which turns into pain, jealousy, anger, right? They have lack, they have a hole in them. What I don't have. So Mike taught me how to focus on what I do have, right? I have abundance in my life and I'm actually a pretty joyful person. The lights are always on in my house. I always want really bright windows. Have you ever met those people that, you walk into their house and it's really dark? Everything's drawn, right? They wake up in the morning and everything's dark inside their house. To me, I couldn't live in that environment. So it's just not my style. So Mike taught me how to be, really positive and have that positive mindset. So armed with that positive mindset and the new skills, right? The skills that allowed me to unroot myself. Mike taught me how to be the architect for my life, right? How to drive the ship, how to be the captain of your ship. Most people let life happen to them. They don't actually sit down and write out their goals and have the board right in front of you, a visual board. I mean, look at my boards here, guys. Everything's written out. I see exactly what's happening at all times. I know where my business is because it's a business. So you need to know that. So we wanted to move from Michigan because we thought about it. And we said, why would we live where the wind actually hurts our face 6 months out of the year when people down south or out west live in sunshine? So we moved to North Carolina back in 2009. We did not know a soul, but guess what crept back into my life? That little F. And this time it was fear. I was riddled with fear. I was afraid, you guys. I was afraid of moving. I was afraid of going broke. I was afraid of having nobody there, right? Nobody that I knew that could help me with my son, right? Grandparents, somebody, as I was building our business. I was afraid to take another exam because I had to pass it this time for our family to have income. I was afraid of learning a new territory. I grew up in Michigan. I knew where everything was. This was brand new to me. I couldn't get out of a driveway without the GPS on. Do you know how that makes you feel? It makes you feel really uncomfortable and not very confident. And those Southern accents, they threw me because people would ask me all the time, where are you from? Where are you from? Well, I wasn't from there. So they absolutely knew that. So it messed with my mind, but I started to just push through. I remember we got down to about $10,000 in our bank account. Kevin knocks on the door of my office. He's like, honey, if we don't get a listing or if we don't make this happen, we're going back to Michigan. And that's all it took for me to get into action. And in the next 4 years, I went to work. We went from 0 deals to 130 transactions personally. We went from 36 to 55 to 75 to finally 120, 130 deals. And we finally were able to see that $1 million earning on our tax return. Now, we didn't net that, but we got to see the $1 million, but it took hard work. Now, you might be looking at that girl on the screen, kicking her leg up. She looks so happy, making $1 million a year. But to be honest, I was not very happy. I was miserable because I was exchanging too much time for the money, right? And by the time you figure out how to have money and you can buy pretty much anything that you want, all that excitement of buying things, it wears off after a while, right? When you walk into a store and you can't afford a Louis Vuitton, it's like, oh my God, I want to buy the Louis. And then you buy the Louis and then you get depressed 2 weeks later because you're like, why did I buy that Louis? I really can't afford it. But when you can walk into any store and buy anything you want, you start to realize that, oh my God, I need to save my money and I need to position myself, because if something, God forbid, happened to me, there goes the business. Think about it today. If something happened to you and you couldn't work anymore today, do you have enough income coming in to survive? Or do you have enough savings in the bank to survive and pay off all your bills? The answer for us was no. So I was driving home late at night because I had to work on the seller schedules, whatever they wanted. I was at their beck and call. I went on vacations, which were really workcations, because I had this thing attached to my ear all day long. My family's down at the pool and I'm up in the hotel room writing a deal because God forbid that I lost the deal for the seller. So it was really not a great life, even though I had money and I had income. So something had to change. And I started to think about my career at Remax. I was there for 8 years in North Carolina. And I said, forget it, F it. I am done. I've paid them $700,000. They haven't given me one lead. They haven't given me any referrals. They haven't given me any training. Why am I paying this company all this money? And I'm not getting anything in return. I'm not getting ownership. I'm not getting anything. So I started to look around my area and I started to say, who in my area has the life and the business that I'm attracted to? And I started to watch teams over at Keller Williams. And I was like, those people seem happy. Some of the team leaders here, they were out of production. They had all these agents. They were posting all these, oh, wow, look at my agent selling all these homes and they're at the beach, so it just really looked good. And to be honest, the recruiters at Keller Williams, they were recruiting me hard for 7 years. But I remember, my some of the agents at my firm would say, why would you want to go be a Keller Williams agent? Those agents don't even know how to fill out a contract. When they're ready to be good agents, they're going to come here to Remax and fly with the Eagles, right? And I would be like, yeah, we're Eagles, right? All the while, we're the leverage for our company. But nonetheless, I decided to go to Keller and I left for the promise to build that 7-level team. And when I got to Keller, it was great, right? I read the red book and all the 7 levels and leverage. And I started to build that team. I took the money I was saving at Remax, which was about $60,000 a year. And I started to pour it into my team and I hired some great leadership. We started to build the team. But what I realized as I started to mastermind with those agents were not happy. Those team leaders, they were miserable. They were complaining about their agents not calling their leads. Why are agents so lazy? They don't even want to make a prospecting call. I have to recruit every single day to build my team. I'm just tired and exhausted. Guys, they were on a different hamster wheel. Their hamster wheel looked like this: recruit agents every single day, teach them how to fish, hope and pray every single night that they don't leave you, right? And most team leaders, they don't even let their agents list homes because God forbid you let an agent do their job and list and sell, which is ridiculous because I listed and sold the minute I got out of school, right? What's the difference between being a buyer agent and a listing agent? Nothing, right? Other than the things that you do to list homes. When you're a buyer's agent, you write contracts, you do market analysis, You advise your client on what they should spend. You advise your client on what the value is, what the appraised value is. You write the offer, they get the deal. When you list a home, you advise the client on what the market value is on their home, what it's going to appraise at. The difference is you're going to put it in the MLS. You're going to do some marketing. You're going to take beautiful pictures and drone photography. You're going to market it to some of your network, right? I mean, there's a list of other marketing things we do, but the reality is if you know how to sell a home, you can list a home. So don't let people talk you into the fact that you're only a buyer's agent. I used to hate the fact on my team, I was the listing agent, everyone else did buyer deals, and it didn't feel good inside. So again, recruit agents, teach them how to fish. Hopefully they don't leave you. Eventually they do. And then you get to start the process all over again. And I had it. I was looking for leverage. I wanted that leverage in my life. I wanted more time back. And I thought, F this still doesn't work. Most of those team leaders that you see at KW or Remax, they're also miserable because they can't get off that hamster wheel. And so then I started to think, maybe I should invest in mobile home parks. I know it doesn't sound sexy, but it's very profitable. In fact, I have many friends that have invested this way. Some of them are worth $40 million. I just didn't find it attractive back in the day. But what my rich friends taught me is that they truly knew how to leverage themselves. They invested in land and they made passive income. And I thought, gosh, if I get hit by a bus, I want to make sure that my family has something, right? If I can't work today or I get cancer, something happens to me, where's the money going to come from to survive? Because guys, nothing in life is secure. If you can't work today, you've got to figure out a backup plan. So I was going to buy a mobile home park. I bought Mobile Home Park University. I studied it all. I was actually scouting properties and I was this close to buying that property. But I got a phone call from this lady. This is my sponsor, a friend of mine that was over at the Mike Ferry organization. I knew her for years, just this rambunctious gal. And we would talk about her leaving her small boutique firm to actually come to Keller Williams. In fact, I took her to family reunion and I thought she was coming. And she called me one day and I thought she was going to talk to me about the mobile home parks. But instead she said, hey, I have something to tell you. I said, yeah. She goes, we're not buying mobile home parks. We're going to go to EXP Realty. And I'm already signed up and I'm moving. And I said, ESP? What? That's like a discount firm in my area. Like nobody goes to EXP. I sell $1 million homes. Like, no, Michelle, you can't do that. That's ridiculous. The logo's terrible. You know, my agents here, my leadership here told me that the stock was a penny stock. The avatars are weird. And Glenn Sanford, who? She just kept going on and on about this genius guy who literally is shaking up the way real estate has ever been done. And so I hung up the phone on her. I'm like, absolutely not. But she went to work on me for 2 months. I ignored her and she called me. I ignored her and she called me. And finally, I went to bed one night. It was a very weak moment. And I decided to open up my laptop and there was Michelle sending me another email about ESP or EXP or whatever it was at the time. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to look. I'm not going to be closed-minded. I'm not going to be a brat. I'm going to put my ego aside and I'm going to look at this business proposition because she is obviously a smart lady as well. And I did. And I started to look at this guy whose name is Gene Frederick. Now, Gene owned 7 Keller Williams offices as well as 2 national regions. And in 2015, he saw the EXP model. He sold everything. Think about that. I was worried about taking 8 agents over to my, from Keller Williams to EXP. This man, he was like agent number 35 at Keller Williams. He had been with the company for 35 years. He sold it all because he had a vision. And what that napkin presentation showed me, and if you haven't seen it, I have a video called Gene Frederick Napkin Presentation, is what Gene taught me was he showed me what I meant to a brokerage, what every single agent means to brokerages. We are leverage to them. We are building their retirement plan. They need us more than we need them. So we are truly in their leverage position. We don't know how to have leverage. So Gene taught me that EXP is actually going to give me the leverage that I'm seeking. And I thought, you know what? I could not sleep after I saw that presentation. I thought opportunities, they don't go away. They just go to somebody else. And I knew that if I didn't make this decision, because as a leader, I knew that this was the right answer. It was 21 years in the business. I have the pain points. I've done it. I've made the $1 million. I know how to go out and sell 100 homes a year myself personally every single year. I knew how to build a team. Nothing was giving me the satisfaction of saying, I have a thriving business that doesn't need me in it to operate, because my team needed me in it to operate. My business personally, when I was selling homes, needed me in it to operate. But this opportunity, if I just set my ego aside because I didn't like the logo, or I thought it was a MLM, which is ridiculous, right? This company is not an MLM. This company is making lots of millionaires. That's what it really is. So I decided, F it again. I'm going to EXP because EXP is actually changing the world. The model is very disruptive. If you haven't had it explained to you, right? Because trust me, I had at least 7 or 8 people approach me about EXP before Michelle. They didn't do it right. It wasn't explained correctly. When I explain this to someone and they actually see it, they are blown away. So I said yes. I became fearless. I turned that F from failure to fear to fearless. And I said, you know what? What do I have to lose? It was $149 to join this company. If Jean could sell 7 Keller Williams offices and 2 national regions, which costs hundreds and thousands of dollars to own, what was the difference if I came over, right? So I just said yes. So here's where we are. We're going to fast forward 27 months. We grew from 8 people on my team. I had 104 agents reach out to me in my market and say, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Or they would actually come to our meetings. I opened up my doors and I said, you know what, I'm going to have little mastermind groups. And each week we get 1 new agent that joined us, maybe 2, and they would just want to learn how to do listings. They wanted to mastermind and collaborate. So I went from 8 agents to 750 agents on my team, guys, and we're growing at 50 agents a month. Think about that. 27 months. I now have a brokerage with 750 people, and we're now in 28 states and 1 in France. We are a global movement. And so it is just so amazing what we did. And now the F, it's for real. I can't show you my revenue share, but it's the equivalent, if you can do math, of me buying a $12 million building or 50 rental properties. I'm getting that residual passive income every single time an agent joins the company, but I'm incentivized to teach these agents how to fish, how to grow, how to sell more homes, right? Because when that agent learns how to sell something, EXP sends me a referral fee. How many of you would love to have 400 referral fees a month? Because that's what I'm getting, right? I may have had 1 or 2 before from Keller or from a couple agents at Remax sending me a referral. Now I get over 400 a month because my 750 agents are selling 400 homes every single month. I get referral fees from this company. To tell you it's changed my life is for real. To tell you it's changed my family's life, it's for real. To tell you that profit share is way different than revenue share, it's for real. This revenue share model is going to out earn my entire team of 25 agents in the next year. And we know that we're going to net over $1 million a year in profit, in pure profit from our team in this next year. So it is for real, folks. And now I'm having fun again. To say that I have financial freedom is an understatement. I have retired both of my parents, which I have wanted to do from day one. So I retired my mother. I bought her a house. My dad has a farm now in Florida with goats and chickens, and oh my God, he's got pigs on the farm. I actually said in 2019 yes to more opportunities. So I was able to speak on stage in Cabo, and I met Grant Cardone. He sat right behind me. I was able to speak on stage with Tony Robbins just last week. Guys, I was on stage, the same stage that Tony spoke at, and I was able to cash out my stock just for selling homes, selling 27 homes a year. I get this icon trophy. This trophy is worth over $300,000 now. And I cashed out some of my stock and I bought that adorable Airbnb there up in the upper left. I changed my license plate. Great story. My car, that car in the picture, I woke up on July 28th, my birthday, and my car was stolen right out of my driveway. And instead of me feeling depressed or down or sad, I said, you know what? F it. Let's go buy another car. And I went right to the Porsche dealership, and it's been my dream to buy an electric vehicle. And I decided to buy the first electric Porsche that they make. And it was 2.5 months of my rev share. That was it, guys. Like world life changes when you help enough people get what they want. That is where my mission is today, that I can help each and every agent that partners with us in our Freedom Builders group, and I can help them double their business. So now my red F has turned into freedom. So we've created our Freedom Builders group, and our group is comprised of agents helping agents helping agents. We have the #1 RE/MAX agent in the nation that came to our group, Marty Hampton. Marty Hampton is part of eXp Realty now. She was with RE/MAX for 35 years. Call her and talk to her. I mean, she will tell you the brokerage model is dead. It took her 18 years to get to 80 agents in her firm. And she will tell you that this model of real estate, traditional real estate, is broken. So we created the Freedom Builders group. And what we do every single week is we have trainings, we have masterminds. People have me as their coach, as their mentor, one-on-one. You have access to me. Just call me on my cell. I want to help you build your business. I want you to break the shackles of being at another real estate company that is not giving you guys financial freedom opportunities, right? Ownership is everything. We tell our sellers never to rent to own, but yet all of us were renting our business. Shame on me for renting my business for 18 years from my broker. And today I could say I'm a proud owner. eXp Realty had 1,600 agents in 2016. We have over 60,000 agents, and we're going to 1 million agents worldwide in the next 10 years. Guys, the opportunity is not too late. That is one of the silliest things that I ever heard. When I joined the company, I said the same thing, but we are onboarding 4,000 agents a month. Think of all your friends that can join us in the opportunity to have financial freedom, to help one another. We are focused on selling homes first. Our company's worth $3.8 billion. It has no debt. It has no debt. Most companies out there, I mean, some of our competitors, let's say Compass or Fathom Realty. Fathom's been around since the inception of eXp, but it's only in 26 states. We're in all 50 states and every single MLS. You can join every MLS and you don't have to have 2 caps. You can be an agent and licensed in 2 states, so New York and North Carolina, boom, you have one $16,000 cap. You don't have to keep joining all these different brokerages, right? And so it's such an amazing scalable plan. If you have a friend in another state that wants to, you know, open up our Freedom Builders brand, they can open that brand in another state. If you yourself want to be, you know, the leader of the Freedom Builders in your state, call me, reach out. We are agents helping agents helping agents. We don't pay agents to come over. Think about this. There are brands out there that will actually buy you. I was offered $1 million to go to another real estate firm, and I said no, because I know that once I pay them 10% in perpetuity, 10% out of my commission every year is $400,000. It's like hard money lending. Why would I take $1 million deal from another agency, right? Within 2.5 years, I've paid all the money back, and then they've got my money. It makes no sense. And they take away and strip you from your brand. eXp set me free because it allows me to market Caul Group. It allows me to keep my brand. It allows me to differentiate myself, not make myself another agent with a red balloon or another agent with the same exact logo that they push, right? The same branding. We can differentiate ourselves here at eXp. So guys, if you're thinking about joining a kick butt group, every Monday we have a mastermind at 1 o'clock. It's amazing. Message me, come and see what we're all about. I'm not saying join the company. In fact, I don't want you to join the company until you yourself are convinced that it's going to change your life like it did for me, and it did for thousands and thousands of agents. But I do want you to come and see what's behind the curtain. Don't be like me. Don't do what Tina did. I made a huge mistake waiting on this opportunity for 2 years because I didn't understand it and it wasn't presented to me correctly. So if you guys actually want to sit down, you've heard my story, you've heard my why. I want to help other agents grow their businesses under our umbrella. We are very focused on selling real estate first. We don't care about recruiting, but we do want to align with you so we can help you build your business. And if you want to take advantage of the opportunity where you want to build a company and be an influencer of this company, absolutely, we want you to do that, right? I want to share this gift. This is a gift that changed my life. And I am so glad that Michelle didn't give up on me, and I won't give up on you guys either. So thank you so much for listening to my story. I hope you guys have an awesome, awesome evening. And if you have any questions, reach out at Caul Group, CAUL Group on Instagram, or find me on Facebook, follow me on Facebook. And we also have an amazing group on Facebook where we're sharing ideas and stuff. You'll see the links down below. So thank you guys, and we'll send more training videos to follow. Take care.